So we have Mr. Golf and Mr. Snooker, Mr. Betting, huge betting odds. Craig Edwards coming to join us to preview the Travelers Championship uh, starting June 20, tomorrow that is, and ending as usual on Sunday. There are two golf tournaments going on this week, but we decided to talk about this one. So, Craig, nice to have you on the show for the first time, and on my show for the first time. And thank you for all your incredible work that you are doing for Oz Market, your great bets that you're giving to your clients with from Twitter. And yeah, tell us something about golf, because I really don't know anything about golf. I was trying to find some questions, what to ask you. What are you looking when you are betting on golf?
Well, I'm looking for players coming into form, really. So I like a player that has promised to play well the week previous, and we then visit a course where he's previously played well on. And when you get that mix together of a player that's coming into form and then he's going to a course that he's played well on before, he will be looking forward to it. Even travelling there, he's feeling better about the week ahead, and that's the starting place you look at. You also look at the current stats of players to see how they're performing on the greens, how they're performing hitting the fairways, and they can reaffirm your judgment, but you shouldn't really go blindly on the stats, because golf is a feel game, it's a touch game, it's a hand-to-eye coordination game, and the players have to be nicely relaxed and in the zone to play their very best.
Okay, you usually go for huge odds from 35 to 1,000, let's say. And many times you are very successful, because you don't need many huge odds to win. You just need 1 in 10, for example, a 50 to 1, a 100 to 1, something like that. And here it is, you made a lot of money with just one kind of bet. Why are you going with these type of betting odds, and you are not going, for example, because I guess also in golf they exist 2 to 1, 3 to 1, and stuff like that. That one to be in front of the other one, at lower odds there. Why do you prefer big odds?
Oh, well, I prefer big odds because it spreads risk, and so you can stake slightly less but have more bets. And in golf, for argument's sake, you can have the bookmakers are not always as clued up as they should be. So you can have someone that they make 150 to 1 at, and when you make your tissue, you may have him at 33 to 1. And when that mix comes in, you're happy to be betting the 150 to 1 shot. Yes, you will have longer losing runs, and there are a lot of match bets available on golf. You can also reduce your variance by playing the place market. So this week, I put up for example Kevin Streelman, who's got remarkable form at the Travellers, a previous winner, 4 times the top 10 this season. So he's my banker this week. He's for a top 20 finish at 5 to 2 or 3.5, and the chances of him hitting that is pretty much 50%. He's pretty much 50% chance of hitting it. So you won't go poor. The beauty of golf betting is you've got so many different markets to choose from. Yes, I like the higher odds, and I'm quite comfortable with it because I've been doing it for so many years. And but of course, with higher odds, you'll have longer losing runs. So, but you know, it's not inconceivable at golf that you'll pick 1 or 2 100 to 1 winners in a season. You can't do that in any other sport because you've got 150 runners every week, and the dynamics change. So some weeks players are coming to a course that suits them, suits their eye. They might be travelling to their hometown or travelling somewhere they've got good memories to. And there's so many different dynamics go in the mix that the bookmakers do struggle to accurately price it. And of course, you can back 150 to 1 shot and he'll run like his price, and you might look a little bit silly. But as long as you're sensible with the staking, you can have a lot of good fun betting on the golf at the high odds.
I was reading your article, and you're saying that the holes 15 to 18 are located around a 4-acre lake, making it very, very entertaining.
It does.
Does that change your whole that means that you're looking also in that when you're picking your winners?
Yes, well, definitely the player with the greatest form here is Bubba Watson, and he's a proper showman. And these holes is a real amphitheatre for the crowds. There's a real raucous atmosphere, and some players may shrink in that, but some players, they love it. Like Jordan Spieth, he won the other year, and he loves to be in the limelight. And the top players do love to be in the limelight. And those last 4 holes are quite an exam. You've got all the holes are surrounded by water, so the slightest error and you're in the water, and all your good work has gone to ruin, really. So, yeah, definitely. The last 4 holes this week normally play a big part in the tournament.
I totally get that. I wanted to ask you for a long time because many people are asking me on my direct messages. They are reading your articles on oddsmarket.com, and most of the times you are going each way. Please tell us what each way means in golf, because many people want to hear that from you.
Okay, well, each way you're going to have half your stake on the win, which for argument's sake at 100 to 1, you'll have half your stake at 100 to 1. And then the bookmakers do different fractions. So some bookmakers will do a quarter the odds, first 5 places. So then you'll have a £1 win for the first 5 places at 25 to 1. Some bookmakers do a fifth of the odds, first 8 places. So in that case, you'll have the stake at 20 to 1, but you've got an extra 3 places. You should shop around, because in truth, if you can get 8 places, take them over 5, because in the long run, if you think about it, those 3 places is, well, it might only be, sort of 4% of the field or something, but it will add to your profits long term. And definitely shop around for the best place options. Sometimes, however, like this week, Bubba Watson, for example, we have him at 35 to 1, and he's a quarter the first 5 places. We've decided to go for that option this week because the chances of Bubba finishing the top 5 are high. He either gets involved and he stays there, or he doesn't really get involved. So shopping around for the smaller places wasn't so important because we think Bubba's going to win or be in the top 5. But in general, you've got the choice. You can take the higher route, but I would suggest most times if you can get 8 places, take them over 5.
So Travelers Championship, whom are you looking at for an each way, for a winner, for a top 20? Run us with your best tips, please.
Right, well, with 5 tips on my article, we'll start with Bubba. Bubba's won it 3 times here. Last year I tipped him, and he opened at 50 to 1. This week he opened at 40 to 1. He's won it 3 times in 8 years. Yes, he played badly last week at the US Open, but that's nothing new for Bubba. He has 3 banks of superb form on courses. This is one, other one's Riviera, and the other one's Augusta for the Masters. You can back him blind almost, above 20 to 1 above. You will not go poor, because as well as winning it 3 times in the last 8 years, he's been 3 times in the top 5. So
wow.
It was just a no-brainer to bet Bubba. And when he opened at 40 to 1, I was shocked. I just jumped all over it. And I mean, my tissue, I'd have him just about favourite on this course, to be truthful. I know people, that's a bit extreme, but that's how good he is here. Next player I like is an Australian, Mark Leishman, who's really consistent on the PGA Tour. He's a previous winner here as well. I think he's 50% strike rate of being in the top 10, and that's often in the top 5. So he's a sporting each way bet. I think there's 28 to 1, 33 to 1 available. He should give you a good run for your money. The big price I like is CT Pan. Just won the Heritage Classic. And then 2 starts ago at the Charles Schwab Challenge, he was third at 125 to 1. And the bookmakers are still making him 100 to 1. It's only 5 weeks since he won the Heritage. Yes, he had a bad week at the US Open, but that's nothing for him. He's quite erratic, but you know, at 100 to 1, if he gets near the top of the leaderboard, he may well win this week or be placed. So that's a great bet, CT Pan. His first 2 seasons on the PGA Tour, this was his best tournament when he wasn't as an accomplished player like he is now. So you know he likes the course. He's coming back here. And I think that's a great bet because I think you could really have a 100 to 1 winner there. Then to reduce the variance, because they're a bit big prices, as you say, Alex, we've gone for Kevin Streelman.
I see 3.5, absolutely amazing for you. I never seen 5 to 3.5 in decimal. I think this is the first time I'm seeing such a small price from you.
Yeah, it is, and I like to throw in the odd banker for people because if Kevin Streelman can get into top 20 this week, it means that pretty much they won't lose much across the overall staking. Then they can free roll the rest and have a bit of fun, and hopefully it's nothing that you could get 3 winners in a week on a golf tournament. You could have the winner, Kevin Streelman places, and you know, you could have another place. So you can pretty much clean up on a course where you have a good read like this one.
I wanna win this week Bubba Watson at 35 to 1. I wanna win Kevin Streelman at top 20, 3.5, and Citipan each way to go second at 100 to 1. What about that?
Definitely, but I'd have CT Pan to win with by then. If they're playing head-to-head, Bubba, we'll have CT Pan. We'll have that little bit of extra, shall we? But I think Bubba's the sort of player. If he gets up there, he'll win. He'll either be off for the weekend and put the ball in the lake a few times, or he'll get interested and he'll win. One other course specialist. He's a pretty average PGA player in his living, but I put him on as a top 20 bet. It was Chris Stroud at 16 to 1. He's got a 50% strike rate of top 20 finishes here, and although he's out of form, them sort of course specialists you just cannot ignore. You ignore them at your peril. So again, people could have that a little bet at 16 to 1 for a top 20 finish, and we've got a situation then, Alex, where if Chris Stroud placed, you still made profit for the week. So it's a beautiful thing, golf betting. There's no getting away from it. You know, it really is.
You make profit. No, you don't make profit. You make around 14 units of profit if he wins. If he's the only winner, you make. If you bet all of them, I mean. But I prefer Citipan second and Bubba Watson first, and let's call it a week here. One extra thing from BMW Championship, I think that this week, I just wanted to ask you for your best bet from there, and I will let you go.
Best bet from the BMW is a similar profile to Bubba Watson, twice a winner there. Pablo Larrazabal, Spanish player, twice a winner at the venue. He's also been placed a couple of times. He's an absolute rock solid bet. Coming off a couple of top 10s in his last 2 of his last 3 starts, you can't go wrong. Just have a nice each way bet on Larrazabal. Even have a little each way parlay with Bubba Watson, and you might have a 40 to 1 winner and a 33 to 1 winner, or even the each way bit can pay nice.